Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 160. I am Mike.
And I am Colin.
Yeah, today we're going to be going through Travis Scott's album discography. But before we get into that, we like getting to know each other and hearing about each other's weeks and stuff like that. Because I haven't seen you all week.
No.
What's up, Colin? How's your week?
Yeah, it's been alright. I told Mike before this, but sorry for the noise. If anybody hears it, I'm sure you do. But my roommate and his friends are being very loud in the living room.
Yeah.
Colin's
at a party, but I told him we need to get this episode done tonight. So
yeah, I chose the most secluded corner, but it's not working out. Well, it's been alright. Came back from spring break and hit that. I was already disinterested in school, and now with it being closer to the end, I'm like, man, I really don't want to do this anymore. So just sitting here trying to get through this semester.
How's that going, if you don't mind me asking on pod? Just like the thought
Oh,
process.
it's okay. I'm probably gonna take like a gap year or however long just to figure out what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
It's just I don't think it's for me, and it's when I was home on spring break, my stepmom was like, it's more than okay to take a break. Because you're far enough in now that if you're just taking classes without direction, then it's just going to be a waste of money and time.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And I'm like, yeah. So well, I still have to talk to my advisor and everything, but
Yeah, you should
probably just
definitely do that.
yeah, I'm probably just be like, yeah, I'm kind of fucking done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
back. I'll be back at some point, but it's just a matter of it's not helping me right now,
Right.
and it's just a lot. So
Yeah.
it's that's life.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I know it. Yeah.
But just been working and schooling and
Mm-hmm.
listening to Travis Scott,
Scott.
and scotting too,
Mm-hmm.
and scatting, and
Yeah.
Wednesday I had a nice little time. Went up to Chicago and saw Hivemind Livemind.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Yeah.
I sat next to this guy. I don't know him very well, but got to know him during the show, and he was cool. He was cool.
Okay.
Um,
What do you smell like?
Chipotle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a similar experience or not.
Maybe. I
Not
guess
that I know if they're there.
I guess you'll have to wait till you hear my week, but Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. Went up there on Wednesday, drove back on Wednesday. Made it back on Thursday though, because it was midnight something or other. But it wasn't too bad of a drive. I was more awake than I thought I would.
That's good.
Especially with with being alone, I was like, "Ugh, this is gonna be rough." But
Yeah.
I just tossed on a couple of ear biscuits from Rhett and Link, and I drank a Ghost and headed down. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
wasn't too bad.
Podcasts can help make the time feel a little shorter for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But and then I had to wake up for my 9:35 on Thursday. which wasn't great,
Mm.
but I did it.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I made it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was okay. And I requested third day off too, just so I could not be exhausted at work. And that was nice. I was productive. I cleaned my bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
which was in
Nice.
desperate need. I was in desperate need of that, so I did that. And uh, oh, on was it what day was it? Was it I think it was on Wednesday. In my Spanish class, the my professor's his like boss or whatever was in there to like watch the
Who's getting
class or watch.
evaluated?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yeah. So like the day before, he was like, "So I'm not supposed to be speaking English in here with you guys. I'm supposed to be just speaking Spanish.
Mm.
So while she's in here, I'm gonna be speaking all Spanish, or at least
Solo
most."
español.
Yeah, and he was like, just prepare yourself for that.
Mm.
We're gonna do this one activity, and then we're gonna have a quiz and everything." And I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But when she was there, he was speaking some English, but it was mostly just in a way to like that I feel like he shouldn't get points off for or anything, because it was just to like help us
Yeah.
along, and keep things going smoothly.
I remember.
But
Oh, sorry, not the.
okay.
I was just gonna say. I remember when we did Spanish 2 honors sophomore year. I feel like 80% of that class, our teacher spoke Spanish. I feel like.
Yeah, she spoke Spanish most of the time.
Yeah. What would you say the percentage is like normally for this teacher? Just curious.
It's probably like 70, 70,
Oh,
75.
okay.
So, like it's mostly Spanish.
Okay, gotcha. I was
Um,
just, yeah, interested.
yeah, but like for this class, I think like the prerequisite. I don't know if it's a prerequisite exactly, but it's like you're expected to have a little bit
Yeah,
experience.
like basic. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but a lot of the people in the class just doesn't seem like it. Like
Yeah.
he's probably he has trouble with it sometimes, where he's like, God damn, dude, like this is it's
Yeah.
not like I didn't think I was supposed to be teaching base Spanish, but here I
Yeah.
am.
Mutters
Um,
idiotas under his breath and doesn't expect you guys to.
there's definitely times where I feel like he wants to say that.
Yeah.
He just ends up looking exasperated and going, but,
Yeah.
but it's but like when we were doing this activity, it was supposed to be like this guess who kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, but we were supposed to get in like groups of 4 or 5, I think, and um, we were getting our groups together and everything, and but like, and then like he started like he counted the class wrong. He thought there were only like 20, but there ended up being like 21. And
Mm.
he's like, okay. So he started like moving people. He started like moving this person around and like trying to put them in another group, and then like trying to make it all make sense. And like we just some of us just weren't getting it, and like we didn't know what he wanted.
Hmm.
So like the person who was evaluating him fucking gets up and she's like, Chicos, and she comes up behind me and she like grabs my shoulder
What
like
the
real
hell?
hard, and I'm like, uh, and like there was no reason to touch me.
Yeah.
I think she grabbed the shoulder of the person behind me as well, and she was just like, "You were here, this and this," all in Spanish. But it was just
Yeah.
like, it was just like, "What the fuck? Well, you did not need to touch me." Like,
Yeah. Definitely don't need to do
okay,
that.
um, but yeah, she wasn't cool. But that was fun. Um, and then that quiz was easy. This is probably like the easiest unit I've had so far. I feel because like we're just it's like different professions and stuff right now, and
Yeah.
I think we're learning like how to say things in present tense or whatever,
Oh, I
instead
remember.
of like,
I remember.
past and future.
Yeah. Sorry, I remember that like really messed with me. Or no, it was future tense that really messed with me. I couldn't do that like at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't learned much of future yet, but like present, I was like, okay, this isn't. This is easy stuff. This is
Yeah.
easier. Um, yeah, that was fun. Played some more Last of Us with Max, and
Mm.
got to the second portion of the game uh, with a different character.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun getting there because I tricked Max into, you know, when a big thing happened, she's like, it's like, and that was like that was my reaction just in general, but
Mm.
when I first played the game, but like, it was good. It was good because she's just been asking like, is he gonna die? Oh, I think he's gonna die. Is that person gonna die? Does that person live? And I'm just not answering because like I don't want to spoil anything.
Right.
Um, so it's just fun to see her reaction throughout the game. Um, yeah, that's been good. Um, Speaking of the thermostat, I think I don't know if I mentioned it on pod, um, but it's gotten chilly this week.
Mm-hmm.
There's been
Snowing
times where
today.
snowing today. Yeah, bullshit. Ain't like that. That stupid fucking gopher said it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking idiot.
stupid fucking animal. Um,
Damn
but
rodent.
um, yeah, it's been cold, and like my room has two outside walls, so it gets colder in here than it does in like the entire apartment. I feel. Um, so like, and because it's cold out, I turn on the heat
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy thought here. But like, you know, I'll come out in the middle of the night, or I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I'll be cold, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is going on? The heat's on." And I go out to my sense on the air conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like 30 something degrees, maybe lower, and I'm like, "That's stupid as fuck." Um, so I change it again,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just keeps getting changed over and over again because one person in the apartment feels like they need to make the entire apartment cold because they're warm. Um,
Yeah.
so that's cool. Um,
Quite
and
literally.
like, yeah. But it's like, I can make you can make your room cold. I can't make my room warm.
Yeah.
I have blankets, sure, but like that's not the point. You can open a window, turn on your fan,
Yeah.
and the person who does it doesn't have any outside walls, so it's like go fuck yourself. But the other day, I walked out of my room, and there was like an empty box um, over the thermostat,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, why is that there? It's just like an empty off-brand Ritz box on just over the thermostat, and I'm like, so why is that there?
But why though?
I did I didn't ask, and I still haven't asked, but like there's been an update to it since it went up. Somebody
Oh.
took a marker and wrote the word art over it. Um, which funny, sure, but I still don't understand why it's there.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe it's just to like stop me and the other person from touching it.
That box is definitely gonna stop you,
Yeah, and it has not,
yeah.
um, uh, but it's just like first off, I get it. Like it might be jacking up the like utility bill a little bit,
But it's
but
cold in Illinois.
it's cold, and I shouldn't be penalized or anything for wanting to be warm. Like
Yeah.
it's not my fucking fault that somebody else is being an asshole and making the entire apartment cold. Like I can't be the only one that's cold in my room.
Right.
Like I know my roommate next door has an outside, like a big outside wall. The other two don't have like a large portion. Like they're one of their walls. Uh, the one across from me has like a bigger outside wall than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that's been changing it only has like a portion of an outside wall.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's fun. So I'll figure that out. But for now, that's fun. It's a little thing. But otherwise, it's pretty much my week. How was your week?
Week was fine. Didn't really do all too much in the beginning of the week. Just kind of, readjusting mental health and stuff like that a bit. But
Okay.
you know, just kind of relaxing and stuff. I've been on a little bit of a GeoGuessr grind this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a mode called Country Streaks, which is just getting a streak of countries correct that I've been just trying to boost my score on. Um, and I don't know, been doing a lot of that for some reason. Um, that's been kind of fun. Really, the only thing of note I think of this week, I'm pretty sure nothing happened last weekend. No, I don't think so. Well, we were with John, but we did the
Yeah.
podcast. So basically, you basically saw all of that except for the the after podcast Patreon special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that was fun. Obviously, seeing Dune 2 with the dudes,
Of
um,
course.
and
Yeah.
podcast action and stuff. Um, but yeah, other than that, this week not really too much happened. But on Wednesday, I also went up to that Hivemind Livemind show.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, I took like an Uber up there, and surprisingly, the driver sat right next to me. It was
Oh really?
yeah, he was going to the same place. He's like, "I'll just pick you up." I'm like, okay. So we got dinner, and that was kind of romantic. And then when we sat down next to each other, I mean, I felt like tension the whole night. So I think things are going well there.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, but figured I should get on the relationship train too, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but Hive Mind was really good though.
Yeah.
Um,
There you go.
really funny. Basically exactly what you think it is. It's they're playing their Hive Mind games in person. But they had special guests, Brad Taste Music out there.
Ooh, yeah, baby.
That was super sick. Because I'm gonna break immersion real quick. The driver was Colin, but we were talking when we ate dinner that like because you said something about like they had a special guest every day, and I was like, I think Brad is from the Midwest, somewhere around this area ish. I was like, it could be Brad. And we got there, it was Brad. It was great.
Yeah, baby.
They had him name the 5 most streamed 21 Pilots songs. He got them.
Cleared the board. Got the most points.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Uh,
Proud of my boy.
yeah. Me too.
Mhm.
Here's a picture of all of us, other than Brad.
Yes.
Um,
There we go. You can see me crying from the Dave's Hot Chicken right next to it, but yeah, that's us. Um, we got to meet Hive Mind. You got Riley on the left there. You got Graydon on the right, and of course DJ Grant on the right as well.
yeah.
I don't know why I look like I'm squaring up to fight people. I didn't know how to pose. The the whole time I was thinking of like what can I say to them, and then I didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about what pose should I take for this picture. So I just kind of I don't know what I did. But
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing either. Like I don't know. It was all kind of rushed a little bit
a little bit,
because
but
they had like an early flight the next day, so they had to
yeah,
kind of get through everybody.
yep. But they were still very nice though, and it was
Oh yeah.
cool seeing them in person. They were a lot taller than I thought they were going to be. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah. I mean,
I shook Grant's hand too hard.
mm-hmm. You could see him holding
Uh,
his wrist there.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, "Ow, that hurt." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh," I said, "I'm so sorry." And then Graydon was like, "It's okay."
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, "Okay."
And then after they took the pictures, Graydon's like, "All right, now you can't post that anywhere." And Grant said something about like, "Yeah, we'll call up the lawyers or something if we see that online." And I called their bluff and I did post online anyway, and I put that in my little caption, and Grant liked it, and so did the official Hivemind account. They liked it too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Hivemind liked my picture too on Instagram. I was
Did
like,
you
oh
did you
yeah,
tag them?
yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you tagged people in yours. Yeah, that's sick though. I love that. They were really kind and everything. I was probably nervous and buffoon. I think I was saying like "nice to meet you" to them, and I thought back on that. I'm like, that feels kind of weird. I don't know.
No, that's not weird.
It's not. I was like shaking their heads like "nice to meet you." Nice.
Because it is nice to meet them.
It
You know?
is. Yeah. I don't know.
It's not weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were super nice. It was a good show, very
Mm,
funny.
yeah.
The there was a like a live chat during the show.
Yeah.
No, there and before the show, and there were a lot of funny moments in there.
Yeah.
Um, the internet boy who did some DJing. Um, didn't have any AJR,
Mm,
unfortunately, but
unfortunately.
yeah. But he did offer to play it if anybody had a USB with it. So at least he was kind.
Yeah.
Uh, um, they had like a DVD menu type thing where their logo was just bouncing around the screen,
Hmm.
and at one point it hit the corner perfectly, and everyone started cheering.
I think people stood up for that too. Stood up and cheered.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
There was
great.
a lot of standing up and cheering, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
But they were like, "What the fuck? Did the thing hit the corner?" And we all went, "Yeah."
Yeah.
um, they're like, that happened twice in the last show, and so throughout the whole night we were just waiting for it to happen again. It never did, but
Yeah.
they could tell that we were getting immersed with it, and they were like, "Okay, let's stop looking at the fucking screen." Uh,
And then Riley stared at it for like the last like minute of their show.
he did. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, there were a lot of good moments. Like
Yeah.
there was a drain gang karaoke, and
Yeah.
uh, and then after Brad left, they were saying something about movies and like or something. Riley said like 21, and I said pilots, and he went, "Yeah, pilots, I get it."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I heckled him, but it's okay.
Yeah. It was. I think it was a funny heckle. So it um, but yeah, it was great. It was a good time. They had a lot of audience participation. And I don't think I raised my hand for anything. I'm like, I'm gonna be a bumbling buffoon if I try doing that. But if they were to do it again, maybe I would. If I was prepared, maybe I would raise my hand and be brave. But you
Yeah.
were raising your hand. I saw you doing it.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did. I would not have been good at the guess the sample
Yeah.
one. But I feel like Jeopardy would have been fun.
Jeopardy would have been
Uh,
fun. Yeah.
but I don't know if they asked me like what game I like. I was like thinking about it. I was like, I don't know, fucking tic tac toe.
Yeah, dude, literally in my because they didn't say what they were doing. They just said they needed an audience participation or whatever. So like for the first person, like, all right, what game do you like most, or something like that. And the first thing that came in my head was Duck Duck Goose. I don't know why. um, that would have been dumb. But if I was put on the spot up there, I don't think I'd be able to like think of their games for some reason.
No, like I didn't know what they were asking for.
Yeah,
Uh,
he knew like instantly, and I'm like, oh, dude, good for you. I would have like, I don't even know, but
yeah.
Jeopardy, Jeopardy would have been the one I picked though if I could think about it for a
Oh,
second.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was really good. I would love to go see another show with them.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, rest in peace, Uncle Donald.
Yeah,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
but
It's a
yeah,
tragic story, but yeah,
it was. It was.
it was good though. And unfortunately, I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone posting any pictures with Brad. But there was a picture that Tina posted of Brad out by the pictures later, and we were like one of the first to do the meet and greet, and I was a little bummed that I don't know, I kind of convinced us to to leave early-ish. Yeah, well, we could have seen Brad too, but it's okay.
No, I mean he didn't really like. We weren't like I don't know if we would have been able to meet him or anything. Like it would have been
Yeah,
cool to like see him, but
yeah.
you know,
He may have done pictures. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I
But
mean
it
that.
was
Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay. I saw Tina posted something on Twitter, Instagram, and it looked like she was in the crowd, like in the section to our right
Yeah, she was
during the
like just
show.
to our right, pretty much. Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Not that I would have recognized her off the bat because I've only seen pictures of her like a few times, but like,
I think I would have. I've seen her do a lot of pictures and videos and stuff with Brad. So yeah.
yeah, but yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Maybe
Brad.
us Midwest boys will come across Brad at some point.
Hmm. Yeah, he still owes us to be on the channel after all the exposure that we give him.
That's true.
But
True.
yeah.
It was
Um,
it was cool to see somebody that we've been watching since they were very
yeah.
small.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
But
Yeah, we were talking about it. I mean, I've been watching Hivemind since they were pretty small too, but like we've been watching Brad even longer than Hivemind, like probably by a year or two, maybe even more. Um,
definitely more than a year or two for me. Like I only started watching Hive Mind like last year or two ago.
oh, really?
So
Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 years, I think, for me, because I was telling you, like, I remember when the video of Dignan, well, the Dignan bit, the first one, when the Dignan bit started. There we go. Um, uh, when that started, I remember I watched that video when it was uploaded.
mm,
So it's been a little
yeah,
while I've been watching them. But yeah, Brad, I mean, since like 2018, I think we figured out for us, like
mm,
spring 2018. So, I mean, that's it's even been even longer for him, which is just so cool to see.
yeah. Um, he what was I gonna say? Yeah, we both got the same shirt. It says "Diggy don't care no more."
Yep, I was wearing it in the photo. Here, I'll pick it up again. But yeah, Diggy don't care no more. Put it under my
Yeah,
flannel.
good
But
shirt, good shirt.
it is a
It
good
was
one.
cold, so
A little bit. I had double t-shirts then, so I felt a little bit better.
yeah.
But but yeah, no, I was they kind of got fucked over by the venue a bit, just by having
Yeah,
like no staff to help them. It seemed like they turned the AC off or something as well. Um,
yeah,
but they put on a good show anyway. Honestly, I couldn't tell any technical difficulties except for Grant's microphone not working at the beginning. So
yeah,
it seemed pretty well organized despite the whatever was going on.
yeah. Definitely. They had to hire a bunch of freelance people
Yeah.
because I'm really surprised that nobody from the venue worked there.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That's crazy.
Um, like people who were VIP, like I feel it like that was kind of they kind of got fucked over a little bit as well because like everything was like disorganized outside a little bit.
Yeah.
They had one dude coming out to see if there were any VIPs to get in there beforehand a lot, but like it was just like there was no signage or anything like that, and that's I don't think that's completely on Hive Mind. There should have been like more people. I feel
Yeah.
there, but yeah, it was good. It was pretty well organized
Yeah. It was a fun
overall.
show. I definitely would go again. So
Definitely, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I didn't really I mean, I kind of listened to some new stuff. I listened to the Nothing But Thieves Deluxe that came out last week. Have you listened to that yet?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, it's okay. Um, yeah, the thing that we probably should have talked about last week, but both of us forgot.
Ooh,
Yeah, they had a Dead Club City Deluxe come out, I think, with 4 new tracks.
I think
And
so.
I thought it was okay. It was just kind of all right. There's one song on there called, is it just called Pure? Hold on, I need to look for it for a sec. Um, Pure You, Pure You. That's pretty good. It reminded me of like some of the Man-Made Sunshine stuff.
Okay.
So that was a cool thing. Um, and they had a stripped version of God damn it, I just saw it. Stripped version of Tomorrow Is Closed that I liked a lot too. It was showing off Connor's vocals and stuff, so that's always good.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but oh, you still there?
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, my Discord is updating and the viewers get to see this. So
Come on. Come
what is okay? Well, that's a fun visual. Um,
on.
we're back. But also Olivia Rodrigo released Guts. Oh my god, I can't.
Build.
Guts spilled. Yes, guts spilled. Did you listen to that?
Nope.
That's okay. And honestly, it was kind of a similar story for me. I liked "Obsessed," which is the song that she's been promoting on TikTok a lot. Um, apparently, and also I didn't realize this until after I listened to it a couple times. But Saint Vincent, who was my song of the week last week, 'cause she helped write that song apparently, like
Oh,
2 years ago or something. I think they were saying.
that's
Um,
cool.
but yeah, it's that one. I like that song quite a bit. The other ones were just kind of fine. But "Obsessed" is my favorite song from this Guts era, I would say. So it's
Yep,
pretty
cool.
good. Um, and other than that, there was a couple big game things for me. Some
Oh,
things, some areas added to games, both ironically. For one, today, out of nowhere, Google Maps dropped Kazakhstan. Um,
yo,
they dropped Kazakhstan into the game. No, but there's Street View now for like basically all of Kazakhstan, which is pretty cool because it's a huge country, gigantic, and usually people are like reporting on where they're seeing Google cars and stuff like that. So like we know that I think like Namibia and Bosnia and Herzegovina, like those are getting street coverage at some point because people have seen the Google cars, but apparently no one ever saw one in Kazakhstan in terms of like reporting it. So just out of nowhere, no one expected it. It was just up on Google Maps today. So that's pretty cool, and that's a giant country, so that's
yeah.
huge
You
for
tell me,
nerds like me.
you tell me, Borat didn't see the Google car.
I guess not. I guess not. I was watching someone who was looking through some of the footage, and there was a guy like running in an alleyway that looked like Borat. He made the same joke. Um, but that's pretty cool. And another big area thing. Uh, have you heard of Varlamore before?
No.
Yeah, it's the new continent in RuneScape. It just got added this week. That was good. That was a good time. Um, but yeah, RuneScape got a whole new area, like a whole new continent added to it, which is huge. Well, a half new continent because it's part one, and they're gonna do part two later this year. Um,
Uh,
but that's pretty cool. I'm probably not gonna check it out for a little bit just because I can't have a RuneScape addiction right now. But it's cool seeing stuff like added to the game. It's cool.
it can only help you, Mike.
It can
It's
only
something
help
that
me.
yeah, it brings you uh, what's the fucking happy drug?
Dopamine.
Serotonin.
Yeah,
Uh,
serotonin, dopamine. Yeah,
yeah. So
that is true. It does, but at what cost?
maybe not good. For, maybe not good for your productivity, but good for
No,
your. Good for your
good for my soul. Chicken noodle soup. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, you're not wrong. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just listened to Travis Scott, played some GeoGuessr. I don't know. Wasn't too much of a productive week, but
Sorry.
yeah. Well,
Also, music news. Hosier dropped a little EP of
oh,
like extra stuff for Unreal on Earth
mm-hmm.
called Unheard, 4 new tracks. So a big week for a big
EPs.
couple weeks
Yeah.
for EPs and
And
deluxe
deluxes.
edition.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to that yet either, but I will. And I mean, there's been a lot of part of one of the songs has been big on TikTok, at least my
Mm-hmm.
side, for the past week or so, and it sounds good. So I'm excited to check that out.
Cool.
And then also the next single from Clancy is dropping next week,
Mm-hmm.
next semester,
Yep.
and they dropped um, a little teaser, and it sounds a little punky, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Sounds like pop punk rock type stuff, and I'm probably gonna like it because it's 21 Pilots, but me. Inside,
Yeah,
I have a slight little worry in me.
yeah,
But
and
yeah.
in a little video clip snippet, it looks like Tyler's shirtless, so
Oh, I didn't
it'll be,
notice that in that in that clip.
I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah. That'll be a
Also,
good
there's
music video.
also there's fans
Hmm.
in that one, so that's cool. People breaking their NDAs and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, very excited for that. Next week, I don't know what day. We'll see.
Yeah, might hopefully a
But
Thursday again, so we can have
so
good amount of listens before the pod.
yeah, I hope so. But yeah, very excited for that. Though with Scaled and Icy, Never Take It, which was kind of like a rock anthem song,
Mm.
was one of my least favorite on the album. So hopefully it's different from that, but it sounds fairly different.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that like punk rock.
No,
Never
not
take
no,
it.
it's not punk, but it's just it's just like a different for them. So it's like,
Yeah, I still
yeah,
remember when Skill and Icy released, like that day when we were talking about on the podcast, I was like, yeah, I never take it. It's so different for them, but I think I actually like really like it. And that song has definitely shrunk on me the most. It's one that like I was like, oh wow, this is weird, but then I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird in not a good way.
yeah.
um,
And then people using it as like a anti-vax anthem kind of.
yeah,
It's like, ooh,
sours it a little bit for sure.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And what one more thing for my week that I forgot to mention. Today also I listened to there's a new Adrienne Lenker album out. She's the lead singer of Big Thief.
Oh,
She released a solo album that was getting really good reviews on Album of the Year. And I listened to it and I liked it. I'll probably talk more about it next week because we'll have to do a album roundup I think by that point next week.
oh yeah,
But yeah, just off first listen, I liked it. I'm gonna listen to it a little closer next time, just because they're the type of like folk music they do. I feel like I just kind of have to let it sit to like really determine how I feel about it. But it's very pretty, very nice on the ears. So yeah. Oh, that's called Bright Future. I don't remember if I said the name of the album, but yeah,
cool.
pretty good. Um,
Also heard there was a new Metro Boomin album that came out this
oh yeah,
today or something like that, with a Kendrick feature on it that apparently is good.
yeah, Kendrick. There is Kendrick feature on it that was good. I've been seeing that all over my TikTok. But he kind of disses both Drake and J Cole on it.
Oh
Um,
shit.
hmm and I think I don't know. There's like the whole talk of like the top three or whatever. He, or no, the big three or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
at the very end of the verse or whatever, he like says, yeah, fuck a big three. It's just big me or something like that.
Ooh.
He goes hard. He does go very hard
I
on
mean,
this.
hey, that's true. That's true, baby.
It really is. But
I've never listened to J. Cole or Drake really, so
yeah,
but I agree with it.
yeah, yeah. I don't have
Yeah.
much of an opinion on J Cole because I really haven't been exposed much. But for Drake stuff, I've heard. Yes, Kendrick wipes easily.
Is J. Cole on the wheel? Does he have enough to be on the wheel?
Oh, he definitely has enough to be on the wheel. We could put him on if you wanted. But
Yeah, we can do that.
yeah. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, yeah. That definitely is a good verse though. You should at least listen to the verse. I would say. Um,
yeah, I'll check it out.
yeah. Um,
Cool.
yeah. I think. Hold on. Let me double check my notes. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. Yep. I'm all good to transition if you want to.
Transit. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So just for a little precursor to our Travis Scott thoughts, just for our exposure to him up to this point. Um I don't think I've ever listened to a full Travis Scott song except for Sicko Mode, which I did. Okay, that's actually a complete lie. I'm sorry. Um back in like 2018 or 2019, I did listen to Astro World like once in the background. Um and I liked Sicko Mode a lot, and I have continued to listen to Sicko Mode like since then. But that's literally the only song, and I didn't remember any of them when I went back to it. So yeah, and I just I've heard snippets of him all over the place because he's huge. But I didn't really know what to think of him. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was my prior knowledge to this artist analysis. How about you?
I had managed to like avoid Travis Scott. Like I had never heard Sicko Mode
Mm-hmm.
until this analysis, but I did listen to Utopia when it came out last year. Um, and I've listened to it a couple times since it dropped and since I
Mm-hmm.
first listened to it. But yeah, other than that, I have not heard um, another Travis Scott album. I've heard snippets of songs
Yeah.
um, that that were in some of the albums that I hadn't listened to, but Yeah. Other than Utopia, I had not listened to any Travis Scott before this.
Yeah. All right. Well, uh, you want to start us off with a
Sure.
rodeo?
Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. We got Rodeo in 2015, the year of our Lord.
Mm.
Um,
AKA To Pimp a Butterfly.
yes.
Yeah.
I said, I think that it's very impressive that Travis was able to get all of these big names, with this being his debut record. The production is solid, and I enjoyed a good amount of the tracks here. However, when it does come to these features, having 7 out of the first 8 songs of your very first album be feature tracks didn't really show me what he could do.
Mm.
Um, Especially when I enjoyed what I heard out of the features more than what I heard from him for a good amount of those tracks, other than "Piss on Your Grave." That song sucks. Uh, yeah, I liked Pornography. I thought it was a good opener. It it was a good first track. Um, but it was just like, damn, that's a lot of fucking features, and it's like half the album, and I'm like, and there's still more features on the album after that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, god damn, this is a lot. Also, a lot of the songs have no right being as long as they are, in
Mm.
my opinion. Uh, it's a when I was looking when I first started the album, I was like, okay, and then like it got to like a 5+ minute song, and I was like, really? Like,
Mm.
okay,
Is it the
it
seven
just
minute one?
I think so,
Or
and
it's
I was like,
actually almost 8 minutes. Yeah.
god damn, this is the first album. but
Yeah.
But that being said, I know that sounded mostly negative, but I did enjoy most of what I listened to and most of my time with the album. I think it's a solid debut. Um, I don't remember a lot of it now because it's been a few days. Um, but I did have a good time with it. I think it's a good debut, good stuff on there. And my favorites were I Can Tell, 90210, Pornography, Pray for Love, Nightcrawler, and Antidote. And my least favorites were Piss on Your Grave, Oh My Dis Side, um, Maria, and Maria I'm Drunk. And I gave it a strong 7 overall.
Cool. I'm, I don't know much about Travis Scott, but I know you're putting Maria I'm Drunk in least favorites is controversial.
Yeah, I didn't like it. That's
That's
the one with Justin Bieber on it, yeah?
yes, yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
don't know.
That's okay.
What did you on it?
Yeah, cool. So Rodeo 2015. I said this is for this being my first Travis Scott album, I was actually really surprised by this listen. Full disclosure, I've never really connected with straight up trap music, and most of the snippets I've heard of Travis's stuff felt very one dimensional and not really up my alley. And while I definitely don't connect with every song here, there is a whole lot to appreciate. My favorite aspect of the record is hands down the production and the beats. Holy shit! I want more music. I want more modern music to be this detailed and layered with their instrumentals. Like, yeah, things could get repetitive occasionally on here, but this album just always knew when to tweak the instrumental just a little bit to change the overall texture, or just straight up change the entire beat in a way that felt satisfying to me. Um, I don't know. For me, I said I don't know how he managed to make me engaged for a 7 minute trap song, but that's what good production does, is what I said. But yeah, I was also impressed with Travis's vocals in general. He's always felt a little one note to me, but he's actually pretty versatile with his own voice on here in ways that made me go, "That's him." Um, and I said, side note, somehow I never knew that Antidote was his song, let alone his vocals all throughout. I didn't know that for some reason. I was like, oh, that's him. Yeah, I said I wish he sang like that more often because it honestly sounded really good. And that's one of the catchiest tracks on the album for sure. Um,
Yeah.
And then I said 90210 is a fantastic fucking song, and it was not overhyped in the slightest. That's another one that I've heard a lot about before going into this.
Mm.
Um, the hooks on the album in general are pretty good, with some really catchy ones. And I don't know how, but he made Justin Bieber rapping blend in on Maria I'm Drunk. Wild. I'm talking a lot of positive, but to be honest, there was also a decent portion of this record that I wasn't feeling. While the beats are fantastic throughout, I rarely care about the lyrics on top, and the autotune style vocals can be a little much at times for me.
Mm.
Some of the more party centered tracks about getting fucked up have elements I can appreciate, but they unsurprisingly do not really appeal or relate to me. I do not generally go places and get fucked up. But I do think the record can sound a little dated at times as well, with some of like trendy 2015 sounds, like pitch shifted vocals and whatnot. And there are a couple songs that I think were straight up duds and could have made the record shorter without them. A lot of this could be simply chopped up to this being a genre I'm not super familiar with, and also just not it being it's not quite my cup of tea in general. But I'll likely return to this album at some point, and it may grow on me. But for now, I can say that this is a pretty decent album with some very high highs. Um, and my favorites were 90210, Antidote, I Can Tell, Maria I'm Drunk, Pray for Love, Oh My Decide, Apple Pie, and Flying High. A lot of that sounded like it rhymed. And then my least favorite was Wasted, Pissed on Your Grave, and Nightcrawler. And overall, I gave it a strong 7 as well.
Cool.
And that's the longest review I have, I'm pretty sure.
All
So,
right.
sorry.
You're good.
Cool. All right. Moving on. Next album, Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight, from 2016. So in that last review, I mentioned that I'm not really the biggest fan of trap, and that I was surprised by how much I enjoyed that record. This one, on the other hand, plays exactly into the type of trap that I do not enjoy. um,
Mhm.
while Rodeo had creative production and catchy melodies, I really found most of the content on here to be extremely bland in comparison. It started picking up some interesting stuff towards the end, but I was really bored through most of the album. I don't even think it was bad. It was just extremely generic and one note, aka the very things I praised the last record for not being. Um, the production is fine for what it is, and there are some highlights here and there, but I was not really feeling this one nearly as much as the last one. I don't have much more to say other than it just wasn't for me. My favorites were Lose, Pick Up the Phone, Goosebumps, The Ends, and Wonderful. My least favorites were Beebs and the Trap, Sweet Sweet, Through the Late Night, Guidance, and Coordinate. And overall, I gave it a strong 5.
Oh, okay. Um, I really wasn't feeling this album for the first half. There were a couple exceptions, but it really didn't start hitting until the second portion for me. The production is still solid, and I think I was feeling the lyrical work on here a little more than I was. I was also excited to see that there weren't as many artists featured on this one, but they just ended up not being listed.
Yeah, that's something he does.
And I was like, oh, well, I mean, okay. However, Travis definitely felt like more of the front man of his own album this time around for me. So that didn't. So that definitely helped with my enjoyment a bit. I think. To me, this one and Rodeo are really pretty equal. In my mind, in the amount that I enjoyed them throughout listening. But there were a few standouts here. Good album overall, but probably not the one that I'll return to most. My favorites were Goosebumps, Through the Late Night, Outside, Pick Up the Phone, Wonderful, and Lose. And my least favorites were Coordinate, Beebs in the Trap, and SDP Interlude. And I gave it a light 7.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Cool, cool, cool.
Cool. All right. Now we got the big one. Astro World in 2018. I think I was the most excited to check this album out, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. Um, The production is on another level. The songs are very catchy throughout. The features all pop off, and this is definitely Travis's best work thus far. Um, I had managed to, like I said, I had managed to avoid this album since it dropped, even not having heard Sicko Mode. Um, but and like now I kind of wish I did check it out sooner.
Mm.
Just because of like it feels a little tainted because of the incident uh, a couple years ago. I mean, the music is good despite that controversy, and I will probably end up returning to this one because I did enjoy a lot of it, um, more than I had a lot of the last couple of records. But I did feel like I don't know. I wrote it down like I felt it was important to acknowledge what had happened.
Mm.
But we did talk about it when it did happen.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I did end up liking this album a lot more than I thought I would. And my favorites were Skeletons, Coffee Bean, Yosemite, Wake Up, Stargazing, 5% Tint, Sicko Mode, No Bystanders, and Butterfly Effect. And my least favorites were Carousel and RIP Screw. And I gave it a strong 8 overall.
All right. Interesting. Okay. Astroworld 2018. Um, I'm going to kind of repeat myself a little bit, sorry. This is actually my second time listening to this album because I listened to it in either 2018 or 2019 after I found out that I liked Sicko Mode. But I wasn't really, but I wasn't, I don't know why I did so many B's like that.
But
Actually, there's a lot of U's. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But I wasn't vibing with the album at the time, and I didn't remember anything on this listen. Here we do get saying I didn't remember it the second time around. Here we do get Travis returning to more interesting beats and sounds. The songs feel more fleshed out, and there's a lot more moments that are catchy and fun to listen to. But this album rides a balance of being sonically experimental while still being like fairly accessible to a general audience. I mean, every song has like 200 million streams on it. That balance is cool to me at times, but it does leave me to feeling a little indifferent about the record at times, similar to how I felt about Birds. Just like the first batch of tracks up until Stop Trying to Be God are actually pretty phenomenal. I think the first leg of this record is very, very strong. The hooks are great, the energy is high, and each song has a lot of interesting details to be engaged by. Sicko Mode gets memed like crazy nowadays, but I do genuinely think this is one of the most creative mainstream hip hop tracks I've ever heard. It's very dynamic, and I love all the sections it goes through, and it gets me to actually like a Drake performance, which is honestly a feat in and of itself. But I think the middle of this album comes to a big lull for me. We get a lot of tracks that I don't find nearly as engaging, and in this genre, that usually just means I'm completely checked out of them. Basically, all of my least favorite songs come from the middle to end portion of this album, which is unfortunate because it starts off with such great momentum. I do think the last couple of songs end back on a high note, but yeah, this album, yeah. So yeah, this great album has great moments on it, but I wish it was a little more consistent in quality throughout the project. I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more if about 20 minutes had been cut out of the middle. Um, and my favorites are Sicko Mode, Stop Trying to Be God, Coffee Bean, Stargazing, Can't Say No, No Bystanders. And my least favorites were NC-17, 5% Tint, Wake Up, Butterfly Effect, and Carousel. And overall, I gave it like a really strong 6 for me.
cool. All right.
Cool. We have different opinions on these Travis Scott albums.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense since this is kind of a little different than the rest of the artist analysis we've done. So,
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Utopia 2023, the finale for now. Utopia falls into one of my least favorite trends in modern hip hop. It's overly long and bloated with a whole bunch of fat on it. On its previous records, I really didn't mind the long run times, even though I'm saying they could have been cut a little bit. I wasn't really like feeling it that much. I felt like he was able to keep things interesting and varied throughout those track lists, but he does not really accomplish that on here. I really feel the length of this one, honestly. the album starts and ends strong, but goddamn was I very, very bored in the middle of this thing. To reiterate, trap is not my favorite genre in the world. While there are a few songs on here that do sound pretty good, a lot of these tracks are also the exact type of bland mainstream hip hop that I am just not a fan of and don't connect to. Most of it isn't bad, although some of it is. It's just boring and does absolutely nothing for me. But unlike Birds in the Trap, this album does have some like really stellar highlights sprinkled into it. Hyena is probably my favorite like hype track from him. I absolutely loved his flow and the production on that track. And My Eyes was also a surprising vibe change that felt very therapeutic in ways. I absolutely loved like the synths and the direction of that track as a whole. Those songs pick up a lot of points for this album, to be honest, but I just think there's a lot of failed experiments and cookie cutter mainstream trap on here that just does not connect with me at all. Also, fuck Dave Chappelle. And
Sure.
my favorites were Hyena, My Eyes, Love, Till Further Notice, Telekinesis, and Sirens. And my least favorites were K-pop, God's Country, Topia Twins, Parasail, Delestro, and Meltdown. And overall, I gave it a light 6.
All right. Cool. Yeah, Utopia. This is the first album that I had heard from Travis Scott, and after going through them this week, I definitely think it has the best start to an album in his whole discography.
I agree.
Um, the production, this project is a lot more weird and interesting following that of the stuff that came out of Astroworld, and I liked a lot of the production and stuff on Astroworld, but I liked how weird and dark this one felt at times. I think it's different, but still similar enough to his other stuff. But I do like that he experimented a little bit. But I think it's not all experimentation. There's a lot of just mainstream trap, as you were saying. It's not all good, however, as some of the lyrics can come off a bit cringe at points, and I don't think I was feeling as many tracks here as I did on the last record. Also, fuck Dave Chappelle.
Did you actually write that word for word?
I did, yeah.
Hell yeah.
um, yeah, a lot of features, some better than others. Beyonce, SZA, and Future, I think, were my favorites here.
Yeah.
I do like this album quite a bit, but it is a bit too long, in my opinion. There's a lot of fat that could have been skimmed off, but I get it. It's an album that came out 5 years after the last one, so it's probably just to like satiate people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I think there's more stinkers on here than I think there should be after his last one. But yeah, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Still, my favorites were Hyena, Thank God, Sirens, what the fuck, Del Resto,
Yeah.
Telekinesis, and Louvre. My least favorites were Meltdown, God's Country. I don't like Fiend. I know that's one
I was
people.
I was pretty indifferent to it. Yeah.
Yeah, people. That's like his most popular song on Spotify right now, I think.
Yeah, I've been seeing it on TikTok a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know. It was just whatever for me.
Yeah. And Lost Forever. And I give it a light 8 because I still do enjoy it quite a bit.
Okay,
But yeah,
cool.
all right,
All right.
cool. So overall thoughts. Trap is not usually where I go when I listen to hip hop, but Travis Scott did a good job of getting me into that sound. I think. I actually had a better time listening to this discography than I thought I would, and I'm thankful for that. I wasn't crazy about everything here, but the production was solid all throughout, and despite the features being a worry from the start on Rodeo, they did stick around, but they definitely didn't take center stage again. Um, there are definitely tracks that I'll be returning to though. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy it quite a bit more than I thought I would. I don't know. I will say 4 albums uh, isn't a lot, but I'm not huge on how long the run times are on
Yeah.
a lot of these. But yeah, I do have to leave off on one question though. How the fuck do you kill 8 people at a concert?
Well,
Um,
I think the people can tell you how.
yeah,
But yeah. Yep.
yeah,
All right. Well, for me, yeah, it's all right. So Travis Scott. I don't remember which of us two put him on the wheel, but I am glad that we decided to do him. I like feeling up to date with some of the big names that are out right now, and even if I don't think his music is for me personally, I like being knowledgeable on my opinion of his stuff. Just being in the know, you know. Before this, I kind of saw him as boring mainstream hip hop music, but now my opinion is a little more nuanced. I actually do respect his sound and direction quite a bit. It was definitely the most interesting on Rodeo for me, but throughout his entire discography, there were moments of, the beats being dynamic, the psychedelic production, and experimental song structures and stuff. While I don't connect with many of the tracks, I think he has an interesting edge to him that's refreshing to see in mainstream music and seeing mainstream audiences enjoy. He gave me a lot of Kanye vibes throughout. They kind of shared that trait of, exploring outside the box for a mainstream audience, and unfortunately they also share the same narcissism and lack of care for others, but I
yeah.
digress. Yeah, I saved a few songs along the way that I genuinely think were fantastic, but I'm certainly not as into his stuff as a lot of music listeners are. He's got some cool stuff, but he's just not really for me personally. Um, and my ranking of albums were Rodeo, Astro World, Utopia, and then Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight. And overall, I gave him a decent 6.
My album ranking were Astro World, Utopia, Rodeo, Burns in the Trap Scene McKnight, and overall I give him a solid 7.
All right, cool,
Cool.
interesting.
Well,
Yeah, I mean I think that may be the most we've disagreed on in our analysis, but that's okay. That's content, baby.
makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm. And now we're gonna fight about it for the next hour, the second
Yeah.
half of the podcast.
And next week when we do our Travis Scott song bracket.
Yeah, exactly. um, but yeah, cool. Well, that was Travis Scott. Like I said, I'm happy. I'm up to date with a big name right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sick. O mode.
Wow. Ah.
Ha. Well, we can transition into song of the week if you would like.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, I am up this week,
Cool.
which means next week you get the next 21 Pilots single.
Yep. I'm not letting you have it this time.
Yeah, I figured. And you shouldn't, because I actually have something I want to do next week already. So, but for this week, like I said, there was a few songs that I thought were very, very good throughout Travis Scott stuff, but there's one that I actually genuinely think is like fantastic, and that was 90210 by Travis Scott.
Good Lord, I see my good fortune in all these horses. I'm driving too fast to stop, so all these signs I ignore them. Just the sky from the...
All right, that was 90210 by Travis Scott. What did you think of that, Colin?
That's a great track. I love the instrumental on it. I think the singing is good on it. I don't know who was it, Casey Hill?
I think that's what it was. Yeah,
I don't know who
Hill.
she.
Me neither.
But yeah, she sounded good. I think it's a great iconic track from him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I felt a lot of Kanye influence of about him like throughout his whole discography. But that track in particular reminded me a lot of like the best of Kanye, like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy type Kanye. And just I don't know, when those drums kick in that second half, whoo, so good. And
Yeah.
His flow and everything to the end of that track is so good, and the beginning part is catchy and everything. Yeah, it's fantastic and rightfully held up there by a lot of people. It's I was really impressed with that one. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. There was a lot of songs throughout that I was like, oh, this is gonna be my song of the week. This could be my song of the week. But then, when I started Utopia, I was like, God damn, I forgot how much I love Hyena. So I am gonna go with that very same. I'm gonna go with Hyena by Travis Scott.
Write a show by myself like I'm Chelsea Handler, or write a series by my bitches like I'm Kelsey Graham.
All right, that was Hyena by Travis Scott. What do you think, man?
Yeah, like I said, I love that song. I really do think that starts the album out on a really strong note. And I really wish I liked the rest of the album as much as I like that song, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the energy is fantastic. His flow is great. I love the production and the beats. It's just really fun. Deserves more streams. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's fantastic. I love that song.
Yeah, I think it's super super strong. I love the song. I love the production and the beat as well. And I also like his flow on it a lot. Yeah, I just think it's really fun. I honestly think that first three songs on the album are all really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I like
but
My Eyes a lot as well too. But
yeah, um, but yeah, I just think that's definitely the strongest start to an album that he has
for
thus
sure.
far.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely agree.
fantastic. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, unless you have anything to add on, I think we can
Mhm.
wrap it up. Cool. Well, if you're listening to us on streaming services, thank you very much. We really appreciate that. You can come
Love you
on.
to death.
We do love you to death as well. We love you so much that we want you to come on over to YouTube and see our beautiful profile pictures of Clancy and Bill.
But
Come on over and see those. We're under the same name, Broken Boys, capital MBOYS. Actually, I just realized our profile pictures today with the backgrounds make the colors for our podcast because mine's kind of red and yours is kind of purple. So it's like off-brand Broken Boys. But, um, anyways, yeah, you can come see that cool visual, and you can also get the links to our Song of the Week playlist, that thing we just did. We got up. Well, you can find both 90210 by Travis Scott or Hyena by Travis Scott in one of three places, or two of three places if you wish. There's a playlist for me, there's a playlist for Colin, and we got one for both of our stuff combined, along with all of our guests that we have on the show, just like last week. That's a regular occurrence of having guests.
oh yeah,
Always a rotating cast too. And yeah, go check out those playlists. We're coming up on a day. I'm pretty sure it's really close. Hold on.
getting
Songs
up
of the week.
close.
Oh, actually, wait. Okay, we're still at 22 hours, but we'll be
Yeah,
there before
but,
the end of the year. Probably in like a couple
we're
months.
we're edging that day of music.
Oh yeah.
So
Our songs are gonna get shorter and shorter.
yeah, and I am so close.
Oh, wow. I still got a
Yeah,
little bit to go, so I guess I better.
I'm holding it in until we hit that day mark, but
Gotcha.
I'm getting close.
I'm gonna choose the intro to Childish Gambino's Because the Internet, which is 3 seconds long, for my song of the week. But
That's all I know.
exactly, yeah. But yeah, you can also check out our we got personal stuff as well. For me, I make music under the name Plaintive. Not very similar to Travis Scott's music, I must say.
No.
But I guess you never know
We'll see with this new stuff though.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll have a Travis inspired track on there. But you could still go check that out though under the name Plaintive. I have an album out called Coping Mechanism. You should go listen to that.
Yeah, listen to it, baby.
Will be some new music. I'm writing something right now that I'm kind of feeling and might replace Jubilee Line. So things are back rolling a little bit. But yeah, I got that. I also have an Instagram. I got an album of the year where you can go read all these Travis Scott reviews in written form. Even though I just read them out loud because I'm lazy. But go check those out on my album of the year page. And I have my YouTube down there. And I think that's it for links. And as for my proximity to you, I mean, where else am I going to be but Astroworld? I mean, that's it's the obvious answer, but I'm in the festival with you, trying not to be crushed. And Colin over here, Colin, he's also, he runs our socials. Sorry, I had a little like stroke there or something. Yeah, he runs our Twitter where he updates when episodes come out, and he also runs our TikTok where he posts funny little clips of us doing funny little things. And he also has personal stuff as well. He's got an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music. Maybe you'll see these Travis Scott reviews up there. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
at some point.
At some point. He's also got a Letterboxd up there. You got a Dune 2 review up there?
Yep, I got my Dune 2. I got it logged twice because I saw it twice. So.
Oh yeah, go check that out for sure. And yeah, and also he has an Instagram review page. Will we see your Travis Scott reviews up on there? All right. Yeah. What is your proximity to our dear viewer there, Colin?
I am at the rodeo.
Oh.
But I'm kind of falling backwards, like he is on the Utopia.
Oh, you're mixing and matching.
Yeah, I'm in front of the viewer, but I'm at the rodeo, and I'm kind of falling backwards down the stairs.
like Riley's uncle from Hivemind.
Yeah, it's a real person.
Yeah,
it's a real dead person.
Yeah, yeah.
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 But I'm at the rodeo with all these action figures.
Okay. And what's gonna happen to our dear viewer as well?
Well, once I regain my composure and I stop feeling embarrassed and just stand upright, I'm gonna make my way up the stairs, out the exit, and heading towards Astroworld, where I know our viewer really wants to go. And you'll have to get out of line for the roller coaster. I'm sorry, Mike, but it's for a good cause, because once you get out of Astroworld and I run up in front of our dear viewer, I will hug them from in front, and you will solemnly hug them from behind, because you were so close to the start to the front of that line.
Yeah. We do a lot of edging on this podcast. Yeah.
We really do, and it's never gonna stop. But yeah, we're gonna hug them from behind, and I'll try to cheer you up with a nice sloppy mouth kiss.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I'm sure it will, and then we can all get in line together. Oh. But for now, we're gonna enjoy this hug and kiss in what we like to call the love cage. And then we'll head off into the sunset of Astroworld, and maybe into the light later on in the night.
Yeah.
With a live performance by Travis Scott.
Yeah. Sounds beautiful. Really painted a picture. Yeah.
I'm glad.
You're a real artist, you know that.
I try.
Yeah. But yeah. Thank you for watching our Travis Scott artist analysis. And we will catch you next week with a bracket on something.
Well, fine, I will figure it out.
We will. We'll also have new 21 Pilots in our ears, so we will be.
Oh yeah,
baby. We will be ecstatic. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.